let's get rolling with the NBA Finals because, as you guys know, I picked the Oklahoma City Thunder in 6 games. I said OKC would win in 5 games if they won game 1, which they didn't. They choked in the end and lost to Tyrese Haliburton. Lost because of a Tyrese Haliburton game winner, which he seems to do regularly in the playoffs. And then I said that if they did lose game 1, they would win it in 6 games because the only reason they would lose game 1 is because they were rusty. I still maintain I was right about that. If you look at their shooting percentages, if you look at the things they had done in that game, they were very clearly rusty. So I stand by the fact that they were rusty, and that's why they lost game 1, even with Indiana's big comeback and Tyrese Haliburton's huge game-winning shot. However, I'm not looking as good after game 3 with Indiana winning this 116-107. So the question is, do I stick with them winning the series in 6 games? And the answer is a definitive, defining, 100%, absolutely, positively yes. Oklahoma City is still going to win this series in 6 games. They will not lose a game the rest of this NBA Finals. They are going to win out, and they are going to walk away with a 4-2 series victory. And put your money on it now because it is great value. I think FanDuel has them at plus 194 to win in 6 games now. Put your money on that. Put your money on that. OKC is winning this series in 6 games. I'm telling you guys, they are winning this series in 6 games. It's absolutely happening. Why am I saying that they're going to win this series in 6 games? Because similar to game 1, game 3 was a bit of an anomaly that's not going to continue for them. Now, I'll get to coaching in a minute because that's the one caveat to this. And let me give credit to Indiana for once again having an amazing 4th quarter because that seems to be what they do. OKC was up by, if I'm not mistaken, they were up by 5 going into the 4th quarter, and Indiana took over because they are just that good, it seems like, in the 4th quarter. It has to do with coaching and adjustments. I'll get to that. However, with all that being said, Chet Holmgren for OKC was 0 of 6 from 3 in this game. Does anybody really believe he's going to go 0 of 6 from 3 the rest of the series? Okay, that was a uniquely bad 3-point shooting performance for him that he's not going to have again. The last time he had one that bad was Minnesota when he went 1 of 6 on May 22nd in game 2, and OKC won that at home. They were at home and they won 118-103. He still had 22 points. And in this game, he managed only 20 points. He did have 10 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 assists, but he went 0 of 6 from 3. That's a big part of this. It's not happening again. Sorry. Okay. On the other side, I'm sorry, I'm still going to be a Tyrese Haliburton hater, and I'm not going to join in the whole Stephen A. Smith trashing Tyrese Haliburton situation. I'm not saying Stephen A. Smith is totally wrong. I'm not saying Tyrese Haliburton's not totally wrong to take it personally either. I'm going to give him a break on that because athletes should do that. I love it when athletes take things personally. That's what makes them great. Michael Jordan took every media clipping about him personally, so I have no problem with it. But Tyrese Haliburton at the same time was 4 of 8 from 3. He's not going to be that good from 3 again. Okay. And just look at his numbers before then. Tyrese Haliburton, this entire playoffs, has only shot 50% from 3 when taking that many shots once. And that was in their closeout win over Cleveland, where he did go 6 of 10 with 31 points. But in the NBA playoffs as a whole, he is 34.3% from 3. Right now, he's 39.1% from 3 in the NBA Finals, and that includes a 28.6% from 3 clip in Game 1. He's due for another bad shooting performance because he was 50% in this game, 37.5% in the game before. Tyrese Haliburton has yet to put together 3 straight games in the NBA playoffs where he shoots better than 33.3% from 3. So I think Tyrese Haliburton is due for a very bad game from 3 on game 4, whereas Chet Holmgren is due for a very great game from 3 for game 4, or at least not as bad as he was. And if you add those two things together, I think you would see that Oklahoma City would win this game in Indiana. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does have to be better. Look, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I give him credit. He had 24 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. I maintain he's the best player on the court right now. 3 blocks, but he had 6 turnovers, and he can't have 6 turnovers, and turnovers are still the most underrated stat in basketball to this day. So Tyrese Halliburton has got to fix that if he's going to make a case and going to make a push forward. But he's going to have better health. He'll have a better chance of doing that if Chet Holmgren, for instance, isn't out here going 0 of 6 from 3. On the other end, Tyrese Halliburton, if Tyrese Halliburton is not putting the pressure on the way he did in this one, the same thing holds true. Oklahoma City, that was a difference. They had 17 turnovers to Indiana's 13. Again, Oklahoma City can't have more turnovers. They also have to shoot better from the free throw line. They were 23 of 30 from the free throw line on the year. That is 76.3%. They're 79.9% on the year, and they run their starters a lot more, so they should be even better now. The biggest problem was, honestly, Jalen Williams was 7 of 11. He needs to be 8 of 11, 9 of 11, honestly. And on the other side, Indiana was 19 of 22 from 3. That made a huge difference as well. Oklahoma City won on the boards, but I think the biggest thing is they got to take better care of the basketball, and I also think that they just have to hope a few more of their shots hit, and that should actually happen in this series. Now, I'm going to say this, and there's one caveat to everything I'm saying, okay? And I can't really deny the fact that coaching could be the one reason Indiana wins. Let me be clear on this. Rick Carlisle is the only coach in the NBA the last 40 years or so to coach a team to an NBA championship that didn't have the talent to win an NBA championship. And I'm talking about Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks in 2011. In the NBA, coaches don't win championships. Players win championships. Superstars win championships. Rick Carlisle with Dallas in 2011 is the only coach to break that mold. That title alone is why he's the best coach in the NBA right now and of the past 40 years. He is a genius coach. Now, you could say he's only got one title, but he has not ever had one of the top 3 most talented teams in the NBA. So to win a title without one of the top 3 most talented teams in the NBA is almost impossible unless you get lucky from injuries, and Rick Carlisle has done it. And in this series, he has massively outcoached Mark Daigneault for Oklahoma City. Okay, he's utilized his bench better. He's made adjustments. Every single fourth quarter, Rick Carlisle makes adjustments, and that changes things. And one of the reasons Tyrese Halliburton hits game winners a lot is because of this. And I want to point this out. Everybody that overreacts out of excitement to Indiana's big comebacks that they keep making, or everybody that looks at Indiana's big comebacks that they keep making, if you're seeing Indiana's big comebacks in the fourth quarter, what you're witnessing is the result of amazing adjustments by Rick Carlisle consistently that allow them to come back that nobody saw coming. Rick Carlisle does that better than anybody, and it's what opens the door for Tyrese Halliburton to always have these game winners, which makes him look so clutch. Rick Carlisle does that and is the best coach in the NBA because of it. Okay, he's the best coach in the NBA in the last 40 years. People are going to bring up Phil Jackson's 11 rings. People are going to bring up Phil Jackson's 11 rings. Phil Jackson had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and then Shaq and Kobe. People are going to bring up Greg Popovich. He had Tim Duncan, all 5 of those rings, David Robinson for 2 of them, and then Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili for the other 3, and Kawhi Leonard for 1 of those. People are going to bring up Eric Spoelstra's 2 rings. He had LeBron in his prime during that time. The point is, in the NBA, superstar players win championships. Rick Carlisle is the one exception to that because he's got one without any superstars in 2011. Now, you might bring up Dirk Nowitzki, but no one's considering Dirk Nowitzki a top 20 player. And he played in an era with top 20 players in LeBron and Kobe and bounced both of them out. That was Rick Carlisle's coaching. Coaching matters. So if Indiana is going to win this series, and I am going to be proven wrong, it is because Rick Carlisle is coaching circles around Mark Daigneault, and that needs to be pointed out because Rick Carlisle, to me, is the best coach in the modern era of the NBA because he's the only coach in the modern era of the NBA that has been able to win a championship without top 3 talent on his team. It's just that simple.